guys, it is Seaworld Sunday. Two things you must know about Seaworld Sunday. Firstly, it's a Sunday. Secondly, we're at Seaworld. It's going to be a good day. This was the first ever park I visited here in Orlando, Florida back in 1997, so it would have been the first ride I done, which was Wild Arctic. No longer there sadly, but we're looking forward to this. We have a fondness for the animals. It's a lot of people out there come and visit here for the first time and have visions of grandeur, coming back, going back home, training to be a marine biologist, etc. I've always had a fascination for sharks, obviously, for the love of Jaws, etc. But yeah, really looking forward to this. Let's go and do this. Currently a steady crowd streaming through. Of course, at this time they're offering those who helped during the hurricanes of Helene and Milton free access to the parks, which is a wonderful thing to do. And of course you get the veterans, those who served. We're going to start the day properly with a healthy breakfast. So I dare say there's some sort of fruit flavours in there. If that helps, that'll be one of your 5 a day. And we've got a specific dolphin 60th anniversary of Seaworld. I remember coming here for the 50th and getting a hoodie and a decent watch, which I've never worn either of them. They're still sitting at home in a cupboard. Looking around, that sky looks a bit ominous, to be honest with you. It's been beautiful blue skies all the time we've been here. Not that I mind, because on my video and vlog list a storm is always up there. But I would imagine they've turned around and said it's only like a 30% chance. We maybe get a shower, a downpour, and then it'll move on. Fortunately for ourselves, as we're not here for the coasters, it doesn't interfere with what we do. We're here for the marine life and looking around. The one thing I do want to do, if it's operational, hasn't been operational for years that we've come up here, it's sporadic, is this guy here, the Seaworld Sky Tower. If that is working, fingers crossed, we will go up there. But there's no flag on top of it today, so I'd say unlikely. And what with the storms that have gone through and inclement weather, you just don't know. I mentioned coasters before. Seaworld has some of the best coasters, not just in America but the world. This here is Manta. These always seem, probably because they're at a height, slightly taller than the ones that we sail to on a regular basis at ZSL Whipsnade Zoo. But again, Caribbean flamingos get all their colour from what they eat. And we're having a good old natter this morning. There are times during the day that they take these guys, or some of them, out for a walk, and they can be at least 6 foot tall. I think I had possibly forgot to mention at the start of this, weekends through October are Seaworld Spooktacular. This comes as part of your admission. It is free to do. It's something specifically for the kids, although adults do it as well. You go and get yourself a little trick-or-treat bag and go around, see the characters, get yourself some candy. It's the bubble machines I love, the smoke bubbles. Always pretty good theming. Kids absolutely love it. Actually, I do too. Bit of a man-child, to be honest with you. No harm in that, I guess. Currently over by the ray pool. You can purchase little trays of fish here. Stick the fish between two of your fingers, lay your hand down flat, and these guys will come along and chomp down on it. They haven't got what's like actual teeth, they're more of a clam. But just look at the size of this guy. There's the end of his tail back there. He's huge. Very graceful creatures. Of course, if you go to Discovery Cove and you stand in pools probably about this high, they come along in a school and they swoop round your legs. Can be a bit unnerving. Pretty much have to try and keep talking because of the music that's going on. It's because we've pretty much got a party going on around us. But it's like they're flying in the water. Very, very beautiful. These guys swimming around in their lagoon are your bottlenose dolphins. It does seem strange that they're probably one of the most common forms of dolphin, yet a common dolphin is black and white and a lot smaller. He's doing a bit of sunbathing over there. Beautiful creatures. He's so intelligent. Simply love at Seaworld these underwater viewing areas. You can get an up close glimpse of these beautiful, magnificent creatures. Very, very inquisitive if you've got youngsters or you've got a plushie like we've got Scoobies. You put them up against the window and they come and investigate.
Come on, we're leaving. Cover, do you want to look over here real quick?
When they get going, a few swooshes of that tail and they just fly along.
You want to go see sea lions?
So incredibly fast.
Look at how big they are. Oh my goodness. Wow, there's so many.
Right, so let's catch some of them dolphins in action. In the same vein that Disney puts on emotional shows, just sitting there just then watching the dolphins, it really pulls at the heartstrings and makes you get like an emotional rush that just sort of comes over you all of a sudden out of nowhere. Those of you who know basically. But I do love this place. Let's see what the gators are up to. These are not the biggest of gators again. Usually out here sunning themselves. Pretty much away from the barrier at the moment. That's of course if we have any gators, or are they hiding in the water? There goes a few tiddlers down there. We've been here before and this has absolutely been rammed packed full of them. Maybe the way things are nowadays with conservation, they try to keep it a bit lower. There's one swimming along the back there. A few heads sort of peering up over the water. If I get a bit further up above the glass, you'll see them better. Yeah, they're all pretty much little tiddlers in here. They must have moved the larger ones on. They had somewhat like about 3.5, 4 feet long. These are probably 2 foot at most. My absolute personal favourites. We've had a tour before that's taken us up the top there to the Seaworld Rescue Centre, and you see some of the condition of these poor sods where they've been involved with a boating accident. The propeller rips their back open or shreds their tail, or some of them can get trouble when they're sort of really cold. Over the years this has been Manatee, the last generation, and Turtle Trek. It's more of a observation underground level with a laboratory now, but it used to be pretty cool in the amphitheatre, like a 3D effect film. Who knows, maybe it's operational today. Look at that beautiful fella there, absolutely huge. Obviously their problem is again boats, but they're also on the menu for the likes of tiger sharks. I said this was the amphitheatre where they produced the movie. It's now where they're trying to reproduce coral, because coral's in danger. Whenever you see the coral reefs etc. on TV, you see them as something that's pure white. Unfortunately that means it's dead. They should be a colourful array and full of marine life. There you go, you can see fruition of colour throughout, greens, blues, reds. Very much brainy. Sorry for the noise down here guys, but it is what it is. You coming down? Be a little bit inquisitive. One over the tank to the side there certainly is. Let's go and have a look at him. How gorgeous is that? It's as if it's waving to us. Up he goes. He's going up for some air. It's as if they're like little living rocks, just resting on the bottom. Scattered about. There's another one on the ledge over there. This one's come down for a kick as well. Catch up my personal favourites who are having a feast. Their diet is the vegetation, but what they substitute it with here is sometimes lettuce or cabbage. Who doesn't love that face?
He's using his hand to feed himself. Oh, he did? Sure is it? He's using his hand to feed himself.
Having a good old feast there. Such gentle creatures. Years ago, by mistake, they took them off the endangered list, and now I believe they've gone back to critical again. Thousands of tiny little fishes picking up the remains that scatter off everywhere. It's basically like hoovering it all up. Slightly smaller one here. They do get a lot of young calves, which initially cannot feed themselves or fend for themselves, so they bottle feed them. Like a huge milk bottle. They have a surrogate in here which will donate the milk, and they'll get big and strong, and if they are healthy enough, they will be released back into the wild sooner rather than later. Seaworld has a huge success program. These guys will hide out in storm drains, seek out warmer weather, especially when we've just had the likes of the hurricanes come through and they can get trapped. And I believe one time they got as many as 80 out of a storm drain. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. I do remember a heck of a lot of them, but I don't know about 80. They share their tank. It's enormous catfish, and sturgeon. The two original rides that have been here since we've been coming are this one here, Atlantis, and Kraken to your right. They've been here for, well, it's been since pre-97 was our first time. Don't know how much longer before they were here. Okay, South Pole, Land of the Penguins. The ride wasn't built last year, it was in the process of being built, and they promised us a gentle family ride, and yet again it is another coaster. One thing for sure, that's probably one of the coldest places I've walked on earth. The chill you get when you go through there goes right through to your bones. I did used to like the dancing version. Very much like the Mickey and Minnie's train ride at Hollywood Studios, where it goes off on its own track. It was like that. But yeah, this is what they call a gentle family ride. I'm not sure it is, to be honest with you. First time of visiting here, this tank must have had something in the region of 20 barracuda in it. All changed to smaller fish nowadays. Yes, I can name all the sharks off by heart. When you used to turn this corner years ago, there used to be a great big great white hanging from the ceiling there. There we go, hammerhead. Sand tiger or ragged tooth. Swordfish shark. And you've got leopard sharks and nurse sharks in here as well. And you can go down in a tank with them and feed them. Look at that guy. He's beautiful. What I tend to do, which I'll do again, is walk all the way back round and get on this once again, just to add to the content. He's cruising nice and comfortably next to us. And the schools of sharks and fish. Usually in the corner here you'll find the nurse sharks having a sleep. See what I mean? They just lay on the bottom and sleep. This guy is gorgeous. Those of you who remember the film Jaws 3D, you remember the great white shark, the younger one, got very poorly while he was in a tank, and they tried to help him back to life, but was unfortunately unsuccessful. This is where it took place. Look at the size of this guy. Tail on that thing must be at least 12 foot long. The reason why we get attacked, because you can see that'll be us in the middle on a surfboard, and it looks either like a sea lion or a turtle. Our friend the hammerhead, the size, these are groupers, huge fish.
Oh my gosh, you got me eyes. Wow. Yeah.
And the sleepy sharks. I'd love to know how they actually tested that to see if it was true or not. We're holding back for the time being. We have, you could say, a light drizzle. Yeah, of course it is raining, but here in Florida, when it rains, it properly rains. This is nothing. If you pan round, if it's really hammering it down, you would not be able to see the Renaissance Hotel over there. Even the roller coaster in the foreground would disappear. Okay, we've kind of survived the downpour. Everyone was hunkering down. This is the used to be the Budweiser Pavilion, for those of you who remember it. It's now part of Infinity Falls. It's I don't know, got chicken strips, etc. It's not the best, but it's tasty. But we're not going there. We're going around to one of these bakeries just off the back of Shamu Stadium. But for those of you who remember this area back in the past, over to my right is where the Clydesdales used to be housed. I missed that when they used to go for the parade. Yeah, the Clydesdales, maybe 6 of them pulling the wagon with a Budweiser and the Dalmatian dog sitting on top of it. And then there would be someone coming behind there to pick up the poo afterwards. I'll catch one of these rings coming down from Infinity Falls. I believe it still is the only one that has a lift to take you up to a drop. Schoolboy error from someone who decided to stand there. They got absolutely drenched, and that's just on this bridge. Simply say that Florida weather is just bizarre. One minute it could be chucking it down, and it could come down for a good hour and a half, 2 hours, and within half an hour you'd know nothing of a passing storm because it heats up so much. I mean, look, totally blue sky now. Right, yet again we find ourselves with snackage time. All important as we come towards the end of the holiday, we get in as many select snacks as possible. These are like soft cinnamon pretzel bites and some chips with a cheesy dip, washed down with a fruit punch powder. Many years back now, Shamu's Happy Harbour and the little Shamu family coaster, like a climbing area as well, was all replaced by Sesame Street, which is cool for the youngsters. There are some photo opportunities with Elmo, Cookie Monster and a few others, the Grouch, and of course there is a daily parade here as well, which is great for the youngsters also. I think you'll get, it's like a countdown to Halloween, specifically at this time of year, and probably they have a Christmas one and one that covers all other seasons. There you go, as I said, photo opportunities. Get your photo taken with Cookie Monster. Seen the stands for Dipping Dots before, but I've never seen the actual purchase your own little tubs. Oh, that's cold in there. Crazy people. So I've noticed now with the Howlow Scream that everything seems to be backstage, so they can have multiple events going on and keep the park open to other guests, which is not such a bad idea. There you go, showing the event. It might be something that we'll possibly look at doing in the future. We have a firm favourite of Halloween Horror Nights, and then of course Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, so we might even consider adding that as well. next year. We will be back in Orlando in less than 350 days. They have seriously got the AC ramped up in here. This is where you used to exit the ride for White Thunder. And then exit your way into Wild Arctic. Now this used to be home to polar bears, walruses, beluga whales, seals, and unfortunately it's the polar bears that are no longer with us. I think everyone else pretty much is. And there's the infamous ice wall. It's not cold anymore.
Oh, you don't.
That's what collects at the top of your freezer. Here we have the beluga whale swimming around. And they will artificially change the lighting in here to make it depict whether it is morning, evening or night to where they would have naturally come from. Here we go, our distances from the North Pole. 5,267 kilometres. It does have brilliant theming in here with like the look of a capsized and abandoned vessel boat that just got grounded and fell apart over decades, and now it's like an Arctic base. That's the illusion that it's supposed to give off, but it is pretty cool. This saves us going in to see the penguins, of course, which would be bitterly cold. The only difference is in the other one you've got the king and the emperor penguins, amongst others, including the rock hoppers. This used to be the polar bear enclosure. I remember them diving off that rock onto great big plastic platforms and taking the depths below and throwing things at each other. There we have one of your walruses. Only a youngster, there's a couple of youngsters in here now. Just like a little puppy. It is so cool to see the interaction. These guys would have hand reared them. Some moments in life are just so precious, and this is one of those. Watching the trainers every move. Really content and peaceful. Just look at them flippers. Back again. All the parks out here, no difference whether it's Universal, Disney or Seaworld, They're always trying to stay one step ahead seasonal. So as you can see, the trees are going in for the Christmas period. Bayside Stadium over there used to be home to an absolutely brilliant show, but that was when we come back in May time, years and years ago. We used to come every May. It was called Fusion, and it was really entertaining. Prior to that, there used to be a great big dive tower that used to go up maybe possibly 60 feet, maybe more. But a guy would climb it and just dive straight off into a pool. Absolutely insane. Now they use it for concerts. There's a Christmas ice skating show in the rink at the front of that. And then of course you have the walkway of the bridge. And one of the first stand-up coasters to hit Orlando's over there. The surf one. It's just crazy. The amount of investment, the amount it's changed. I think SeaWorld's had probably 4 or 5 different owners in the last decade. Even the Shamu sculptures have got a new colour scheme. Last time we was here, October last year, half of the stadium there was closed off while they were doing renovation works and getting it ready. 2 of your killer coasters right there. Mako is SeaWorld's fastest coaster, and its original one, the green one behind it's Kraken, where it would come around the top there and it's like dropping off the end of the earth. People will pay good money to come around here to be scared witless by something like that. It's not for me. Whereas something like Howlow Scream is a totally different kind of adrenaline, and I can do that all day long. Jesus. Yep, you scream. You chose to do it, not me. Right, with the shadow of Kraken in the distance there, but in the foreground, welcome to Pacific Point Preserve. Home of your sea puppies. You see what I mean when I get around there. It's like having a load of Labradors that live in the sea all the time. All you'll hear is the barking. Someone's got some fish for you. That's a very weak bark you got there. Good catch. You start to see the difference between the females and the male boys. There's a distinctive size difference.
Alright, good job.
Some having a kip in the corner there now. There are seals in here as well.
Let's go wash your hands.
Got a lovely fur coat on them. Some of these birds look truly evil when you see their face. But they're all here for the same reason as the seals and the sea lions. They want that fish. That is cool. He's waving his flipper to say, can I have a fish? Here we go. Kiddies party in full swing, and we are certainly partaking in the trick or treating. We have bubbles, but they're not foam filled. We want the foam filled bubbles. We are now at the Sea Lion and Otter Stadium, being entertained by one of the very brilliant mimes that frequent this show. Unfortunately, one of my favourites of all time. One of the originals, Lynn, is no longer part of it. The only other special one to me is Tom Munston. Now this show has had various guises over the years. Probably the best remembered was Clyde and Seaworld Take Pirate Island, with some of the gags like I've been marooned, with him forgetting to roll up his sleeve, etc. I'm sure there was some sort of plumbing works one here before, and then it was a high school one, and now it looks like yet another reincarnation.
Rob, the Seaworld Mime. All right, let's get this rehearsal started. This is your places called Places, everyone.
Here is my best friend, Seymour! I'm so impressed with all of the facts that I learned from this new presentation, because that is what makes any presentation great. You're late. Late for oh, rehearsal. Yeah, we were just trying to get one more live stream in. All right, everybody, that's my time. Click like and subscribe.
Hashtag, you're still late.
Yes, yes, I am sorry about that, sir. We were just having some fun. I'll go check them out. If I need you, I'll call you. All right, yeah, it looks like if I take this and go due south, I can, whoa!
Just a sea of coasters now. It's becoming insane, it really has. Landscape truly changed over the last 3 decades, but still a fantastic park. As you join us here at the Orca Encounter Stadium, Rachel's bringing up the provisions. Looks like a Diet Coke, a Powerade and a bag of chips. We are exceptionally knackered.
On behalf of all of us here on Seaworld, I'd like to take this opportunity to show our support for the men and women of the armed forces and our first responders. We proudly welcome you and your families, and at this time we ask that any past or present members of the United States military, any of our allies from around the world, and all first responders to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring these men, women, and their families.
So our final show here today, the amphitheatre known as Shamu Stadium. We've been coming here for decades. We've seen so many fantastic shows here, none more greater in our own opinion than Believe. Of course, tragedies happen and things have happened in the past, and it's one of those things, you can't change it, you can't stop the past and what's happened. We can learn from it. These guys here certainly have. and you look forward to a brighter tomorrow with everything they do behind the scenes. Over 40,000 rescues and releases. It says its own tale, to be honest with you. And with that, let's see our last show.
Together with these techniques and our relationships, the whales learn to trust us, and they even take an active role in participation in their own healthcare and well-being through the use and training of husbandry behaviors, which are behaviors that allow us to take care of the whale throughout this procedure. Now, if you look over here, you can see those beautiful white tail flukes and the blood vessels that are running right through them. As trainers, you'll see us rubbing down the whales on different parts of their bodies, like their backs, their pectoral flippers, or even those tails in one of our adjacent pools, and allow us to monitor how their weight fluctuates week over week. Now, when the whales slide up on our slide out right here, you might notice something. The portion of their body between their dorsal fin, which is the fin on the back, and their tail flukes is still hanging down into the water. Now, that part of the killer whale is very big, very muscular, and it's called the peduncle. In natural athletic behavior we see in all killer whales is the ability to move that high portion of their body with such force that they can completely turn before re-entering the water. So in a position like this, with Katina's tail flukes in the water, we would not be getting a full accurate weight. So to solve this problem, we'll simply ask her to lift her flukes up and out of the water. Training this position ensures accuracy and allows us to make sure that our adult whales are maintaining a healthy weight and that our little whales are growing properly.
And the care isn't just physical.
And Nalani's got it. Let's give her a big round of applause. You folks can take a seat. When you see her, here she comes. Nicely done, Katina. Now this side of the seating, it is your turn to play. Everyone stand up and out of your seats. Now we're going to be asking for a breaching behavior. So on the count of 3, what we're going to do is we're going to take both of our hands, make 2 L's, and we're going to throw them over our left shoulder. All right, everybody ready? Leah is going to be on her way. 1, oh, there she goes. Now she's on her way, so let's make sure she sees us. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Throw them over your left shoulder. All right, let's see if she saw you guys. And she did. Let's give her a great big round of applause. Nicely done.
Together, we've got this.
enjoyed Orca Encounter. Enjoy the rest of your evening right here at SeaWorld Orlando. Bye-bye, everybody.
Anyway guys, that's going to do it for today's vlog. We've got some more time here left in the park and we're going to spend it some private time with our animal friends. I'm sure you appreciate that. It's been an epic day, it truly has. It absolutely chucked it down for probably about an hour and a half, but it didn't deter on anything. Every show's been spot on as it usually is. I'd say one thing for sure, it's definitely got a lot more expensive since our last visit. Definitely worth getting the meal deal if that's what you desire. But anyway guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the movies. Bye for now.